Welcome back to the channel. Long time no see. At least it feels like it's been definitely a few days since I've last posted, and just let it be known I have seriously missed you guys, but I've been working pretty diligently behind the scenes to come up with some more content ideas and also work on the next episode of The Grovers. Anyways, long story short, today's video is going to be a little bit of a weird one because not only are we doing a speed build, we're also going to be giving Mr. Kyle Kyleson a Sulani makeover. I'm definitely going to be referencing the last episode of The Grovers a lot just to explain what is happening in this video. So if you don't watch The Grovers or you didn't watch the last episode, I highly suggest that you pause this video and at the very least watch the last episode. Otherwise, there's going to be some spoilers and you might be left very, very freaking confused. So in the previous episode, as we know, Kyle accidentally confessed his feelings to Miss Ayla via a letter that he had meant to write to himself just to kind of get some feelings of his off of his chest, and he accidentally put it in the love card or the love day card that he had given to Ayla. Anyways, it didn't go like how he anticipated. It didn't go bad either. It just was super embarrassing because even though the feelings weren't necessarily not reciprocated, Miss Ayla is in a relationship or situationship right now, and you know, there's just no way that she could in good faith act on whatever feelings she has with Kyle. Well, you know, anyway, that's at least what she told Kyle. So Kyle was kind of, you know, left embarrassed, obviously, and he isn't mad at Ayla like a lot of you said. He isn't mad or angry with her at all. He just felt like he had officially overstood his welcome because, in case you guys didn't know, Kyle Kyleson is a couch surfer. Well, not only is he a couch surfer, he's a real life surfer as well, which you will see in the next episode. We're gonna kind of take a little sneak peek into Mr. Kyle Kyleson's life in Sulani and also get acquainted with some of the new Sims in his life and you know, all those types of things, which I'll talk about a little bit later on because I don't want to tell you too much right now. But anyway, so yeah, he moved off to Sulani, and you know, it's just, oh gosh, it wasn't an easy decision, but he's happy. Like, he really is. Like, obviously he misses Jacob and he misses Ayla so freaking much, and his heart just burns having to have made that decision to leave. But again, he isn't mad, he isn't upset, he just had overstood his welcome and it was just time for him to move on. And so he moved to Sulani. Well, he obviously went to the airport and kind of decided this is where he was going to go because he loves the surf, he loves the beach, he's again a lifeguard, so it just kind of makes sense that finding work would be so easy here. Unfortunately, there's a lot of Sims that can't swim but think they can, so Kyle's the man to help them out. But anyway, he found this little shack on the shore, and oh my gosh, you guys, he just, I don't know, it's kind of exciting. It's like very invigorating for him to be here because he hasn't actually ever had his own place before, and we can kind of thank Ayla for that, honestly, because it was her influence that made Kyle be the man that he is today. It was her influence that made him want to aspire and strive for more, because if Ayla could do this while raising a little human by herself, if she could accomplish all these things, then what was Kyle's excuse? So moving into the shack has just definitely been the shove that he's needed. It's really grown his character. He's learned how to cook, he's learned how to kind of clean. He's definitely a little bit of a messy sim still, and he's also picked up a little companion along the way, which I guess I could kind of tell you about because I'm not going to have too much time to tell you about it in the cast. So one day while Kyle was on duty as a lifeguard, right, he had noticed that there was this stray dog, and it kept coming back, and you know, sometimes Kyle would feed him as like lunch leftovers or whatever, and they started building this little relationship. And he had asked the locals if this was anybody's dog, and nobody claimed ownership. This dog has just kind of been wandering the beach for quite a while now, and so Kyle decided that he needed a home. He needed to take him home, and he named his little companion Dune. So Dune's also a boxer, FYI. Anyways, a little bit about this build. I had so much freaking fun doing it. I don't build enough in Sulani, and I definitely need to more often. I actually was very surprised by how many packs I was able to implement into this build, because we have gotten so many new packs since the release of I think island. It's island living, right? I can't remember. So for the fencing outside, I used one of the fences actually came with werewolf pack, and then the foundation, surprisingly enough, I actually really loved the foundation from Snowy Escape. Now, there's tons of foundations that come with the Island Living expansion, but for some reason, I thought that the foundation that came with Snowy Escape paired well with the columns that I think came with, I want to say Outdoor Retreat. So even though this is a beach house, it is very rustic. I wanted it to emulate Kyle's aesthetic. And oh, also another thing, your girl was feeling really fancy today, so she decided to play with, I think it's called like another slot please or something like that. It's by Ravishing. A lot of people have been telling me to use this tool. Basically, it's like an invisible shelf, and it just gives you lots and lots and lots of slots, and then you're able to kind of create more cluttered counters and just, you know, really utilize every inch of space by getting more slots essentially. And the crazy thing is, this counter here still is functional. Like, your Sims can still cook on it, which is crazy. I don't know though if using this little shelf tool will actually flag the build for CC. I think it might, but it just let it be known that if you do download it, I'm pretty positive, I'm pretty sure that these items will still be there, but I'll have to play around with that to be able to tell you for certain. But anyways, I had so much fun with the layout of this build too as well. I really like the kitchen. I also love that there's so many exit points, like, you know, to go out and enjoy the outdoors, to go out on the porch. So we have a door in the kitchen, and then I have a beautiful like sliding glass door in Kyle's bedroom. And here's a little bathroom. I decided to actually put it up like right next to the front of the house, even though, like I said, this home just kind of doesn't really have like your traditional you know, beachy themed kind of like furnishings. It still does scream very beachy to me. I freaking love it so much. I don't know, I'm just like in my era of just building how I want to build and just kind of staying true to my aesthetic and my vibe. And even though I like hate sometimes that my builds look all the same, it's not that they look the same, it's just I have a style. That is what I've come to realize. I have a style. Wow. Although in the future, I would like to try to do more like colorful builds and do more like specific styles, whether it be like, you know, more mid-century or craftsman, you know, maybe even like Mediterranean or something along those lines, you know, more like, I guess like category specific maybe types of builds, if that makes sense. Anyways, I definitely went ham when it came to like cluttering up this little place. It was just so much fun to furnish and decorate. I love how I incorporated the herringbone tile into the kitchen and the bathroom. The bathroom doesn't really have a lot going on in there. Actually, I did use a couple items from the bathroom clutter kit. I don't care what anyone says, okay? I love the clutter kits. They are so useful, especially as we're getting more of them and they pertain to certain types of categories. I've been finding them more useful when I'm trying to figure out how exactly I want to fill up some dead space. So we're moving into Kyle's bedroom. This bedroom is such a beautiful size. I love it so much. We have a little mirror there next to the door. Then I decided I wanted to put up some artwork, and I'm using a lot of artwork from Snowy Escape. I think it just kind of fits the aesthetic. And I'm also using some basement, I think it's what it is, like the basement clutter kit or something like that. I can't remember what it is called exactly, but I did take the lamp from that pack and I decided to put it next to Kyle's bed there. So we are also using this little sapling. I think this came with the Greenhouse Haven kit, and I don't know why, but I thought it was just so freaking adorable. And I'm also using the TV too as well from the basement kit, because in case you guys don't know, Kyle's kind of like a retro sim. Like, if he could pick any era to be born, or any decade rather, it would probably be the 70s. Like, that is just him. And you're gonna see with his like makeover how true to that it really is. Like, he is such a 70s sim at heart. Like, he was born in the wrong time, I'm telling you. But anyway, I am really struggling with this freaking like shelf tool. It's embarrassing. It's actually comical watching me try to figure it out, because what I usually would do is I would just kind of put something on, you know, a slottable surface, and then I would pull, you know, for instance, I would pull the nightstand away and it'd still be kind of floating there. And then I would just, you know, tweak it to how I like it and then put the, you know, nightstand back, and then that would work. But I don't know. I think I'm doing something wrong, because it is such a struggle for me to get this little shelf tool to work. I like it. I think it's amazing. But it's definitely one of those things you need to practice with. Of course, we had to throw down Kyle's pink suitcase. He didn't take very much with him when he left from Ayla's. He took like a couple photos, he took his bike, he took his suitcase, and then he might have taken a couple other little miscellaneous items, but obviously he flew here via airplane and he wasn't able to take everything with him. Kyle is now a bachelor. Well, he's always been a bachelor, but he's always tried to keep his space clean, especially because he did live with Ayla. And so you're going to notice that there's some things just kind of scattered around, like his dirty chonies and his socks and, you know, things like that. He doesn't really have anyone to pick up for, at least yet anyway. So he's just kind of living by the seat of his pants right now. And I love that for him. So we're moving into the living room, I guess. And this was a very interesting space to furnish, because it kind of has some weird angles to it, like that diagonal. We're making a bitch as we go. Diagonal wall. It's just weird. It's just a weird shape in general. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the same TV that was in Kyle's bedroom for the living room, but just to add in a little bit of variety, I decided to throw in this little flat screen. I envisioned that he found a lot of these items, like they were here in this little, what is this, like a bungalow? They were here when he moved in, and then kind of just throughout time he thrifted a lot of the items, because he's he likes to buy things secondhand. He is a little cheap. He doesn't have all the simoleons underneath the sun. But of course, I did have to give him a little gaming console, because deep down, Kyle's also a gamer. We know this about him, and so him having a new console to kind of take his mind off of things as he enters this new period of his life, it was a no-brainer. It was a huge necessity. I also threw up a lot of like fishing memorabilia too, because I think I could see Kyle fishing. I don't know why, but I could see him dabbling around with that a little bit, especially because he lives right on the water. So maybe we'll have him do that. He also has like a jet ski too, which I think is pretty dope. And then I'm gonna get him a surfboard that's actually functional. It's CC, so I didn't throw it in here because I don't know. I just was trying to not make this build full of CC since I just did that. But again, I do think that little shelf tool is flagging it as CC. So yeah, we're just playing around. We're having fun. We're decorating. We're just pulling out all the stops. I really didn't have a rhyme or reason to this build at all. I just wanted to go with whatever felt natural to me. So we're using, I think, the brand new like basement treasures kit. That's what it is. That couch, and then I also used, what else did I use? I can't remember. I used a lot of like growing together items too as well, and I did use quite a bit from Island Living, but not too much, surprisingly. So I'm decorating this little shelf over here. I think I'm using like some little miscellaneous items. I don't know where that little like plant came from, that's succulent. And I also scaled down the Lindsay to fit it on the shelf, and I don't know why. I've never thought of doing that before, but I did, and I like how it turned out. Obviously, this is Kyle's nest after all, so I decided to throw up a little movie poster, and then I wanted to see what else I could fit, because I felt like there was just a little too much dead space happening in the living room still. And so I just, decided to put out some shoes, and I put up a little clock. And now we're moving to the exterior. So Kyle, he's quirky. We know this. Okay. So I wanted to put up this little like surfing snowman, even though it is like spring and he has no business being out here. But I don't know, maybe Kyle found it like a garage sale or something, and he like decided to take it home just to be funny and put it out there. So I did that. And then I found this little plant that I thought would go perfect in the living room just to pick up that dead space. And because I added in a hamper, I had to throw in a clothesline and then a little washing tub. We've got a breaker box out there, just for some realism. I end up also switching out the switches, like the light switches in the house too, because I used like super modern ones, and I don't know why, but I forgot that we actually had more traditional light switches, so I do that too. The landscaping was interesting. The one thing that I hate about using this particular platform or foundation for these beach builds is that there's just so much like dead space underneath, and there isn't really any way to kind of like put plants under there, but I had to get crafty. Also, I love these little stone, they're not even pavers, but I love these rocks right here in the entryway. I don't know, I thought that looked really good. The landscaping is probably one of my absolute all-time favorites. I loved playing around with this, and I don't know, I think I'm actually getting really good at landscaping. Like, I'm very proud of myself. I didn't overdo it too much, but I definitely used like a bunch of different types of plants. So we've got some of like this like thick jungle grass. I've got a couple like bushes in there that have like these little pretty red flowers, and I just try to mimic the surrounding landscape and just kind of have it, look like it blended into everything versus kind of standing out. What really helped, though, I must admit, was darkening up the landscape underneath the foundation of the house. That really helped a lot, especially when I kind of like drew it in even into the actual water itself. I thought that looked really nice. We have also a little like bonfire happening. We have Kyle's bike out in the front because he bikes literally everywhere. I don't know what was going on, but it was like stuck. It was stuck. This bike was not like letting go. So I eventually got it to do what I wanted it to do, and I just put it right there next to the fence. I'm also adding in a couple other things too, such as a little cooler. I have a mod in where my Sims can actually like grab like cocktails and things, or like drinks and like wine, nectar, whatever from the cooler. So I can definitely see Kyle out here just reflecting on life, maybe having a friend over for a couple adult beverages, and sitting on those little chairs, which again are so Kyle. They're like little foldable camping chairs, I guess. And then I decided to add in a little AC unit, and then in the front I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I was like, should I go chess table, or should we do like a little gaming table? So I actually ended up doing a gaming table, which is perfect because I do think you can do puzzles on those. I can't recall if you can or you can't, but I don't know. I just felt like we'd get more use out of that, especially if we do decide to have company over. And then I threw out like another little camping chair. So anyways, I'm doing a few final touches here, just really, wrapping up the build. And then we're going to move into create a sim, which is so weird to say because now we're going to give Kyle his little makeover. But before I did that, there was just one last item I needed to put out in the front of the house, and I wasn't sure what to go with, but then I had the bright idea to throw up these little like snowboards. I thought that was a great idea because again, snowboards, surfboards, it just kind of all falls into the same category. So now we're in create a sim, and there really wasn't a lot that I could do to Kyle. Kyle traditionally has very long hair, so I thought, hey, we could just go a little bit longer. I wanted him to kind of pull away from that typical Cali surfer dude and jump into his Sulani native type of era. And I also wanted to switch up his skin details too. I've been having a lot of fun playing with brand new skin details and kind of switching up my sim style, so I wanted him to obviously look the part, so I played around there. I gave him these beautiful luscious locks. I love the detailing of this hair. And then for his formal wear, he's wearing this beautiful navy suit and these cognac loafers. That is really fancy for Kyle, but perhaps he has a special occasion he needs to, I don't know, maybe wear that too. So one of the things I really wanted to do with this create a sim is I didn't want to stick to the technicalities of really making certain outfits look their part. So for instance, I thought, what would Kyle wear for his athletic wear? And then I found this CC full body outfit that I thought just screamed Kyle. And so I decided to give him this and also throw on the same beanie he's been wearing pretty much throughout every freaking outfit in this catalog so far. And I was going to switch up his shoes too. I almost gave him like those like weird camel looking shoes. I say camel because it looks like a hoof, but then I decided this is Kyle Kyleson we're talking about here, and he probably doesn't have 45 different pairs of shoes or 23 different shirts to wear. Like, he might recycle the same article of clothing to fit a different category, and so you will see him wearing probably the same beanie a lot in his outfits, and also wearing the same sneakers because it's just realistic. It's just Kyle. So for his party wear, he doesn't really have anywhere to go. So I decided to give him this I think it's like a first fits kit conversion. I love the open shirt there. It's like a little dress shirt, has like these beautiful like pastel flowers, and I gave him some like plaid shorts. For his swimwear, I was originally fishing for his uniform that he wears as a lifeguard, but for whatever reason it isn't unlocked in my catalog, so I kind of just came up with something random, gave him like a little whistle here, and then some black and red shorts, and then also decided I needed a variant without the whistle because I thought he would look pretty stupid just swimming around with his whistle if he decided to go to like a public pool or something. Like, you're a lifeguard, bro. It's not that serious, even though that is very serious job actually. Moving on to his last two outfits, we have his hot weather wear and then his winter wear. I decided just to keep the theme with the sneakers and recycle those for the hot weather wear as well. I was debating if I wanted to throw on a little headphone or something like that, you know, switch up the style a little bit, but then I decided that I didn't want to go with anything. I really actually wanted to get a backwards hat for him, but I didn't have any, and then the in-game backwards hat is just too bulky in my personal opinion, so his hot weather wear is pretty minimalistic to say the least. And then for his winter wear, it's Sulani. It's not gonna get that cold ever, so I did keep it pretty casual. I just gave him like a nice little sweatshirt and then some quilted shorts here, and then again just kept it very consistent with his sneakers and gave him literally the exact same pair. I was gonna give him something different, but I don't know, I kind of liked that he was recycling some of the old articles of clothing throughout his wardrobe. And the very last sim that we are creating is Little Dune. I didn't do too much to him, so there's really not a hell of a lot to see here, and I think that pretty much wraps it up for the video. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to go ahead and comment, rate, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below where the sun doesn't shine, and I will see you all next time.